So for my husband and myself, both we have better career options here, and our skills are much valued in Canada.
मेरा नाम I'm missing something ये influence का मेरा जो परार है वो खुद ही साथ मोड़ का दास्ते यार
I guess. Yeah,
what for money are you talking like cuz
Interview your future self with Tabish Shad.
Welcome to our podcast IYF, where you can interview your future self. On this podcast, we interview individuals from different professions, and they share their experience and insights with us to help those who want to build career in the same field. So today's episode will be special for those individuals who have studied engineering back home or those who have worked in IT back in India and they're wondering what are their career options in Canada. We have a very special guest with us today. This individual was a data engineer back in India and she moved to Canada in 2019 with her family, and ever since she has been working as a data engineer in Canada. And let me tell you, she's already a six-figure earner in Canada. And how many people do you think make six-figure in Canada? Only top 10%. And she is definitely the right person to learn from. So without any further ado, let me introduce you to your future self, Mrs. Teba Qureshi.
Thank you, Tabish, for having me in your podcast today. And let me tell you a little
Yes,
bit about
please.
myself.
Yeah.
So I'm from Madhya Pradesh,
Okay.
and I have done my engineering in IT.
Okay.
And before moving here, I had been working with different various companies in India
Okay.
as a data analyst and data engineer.
Right.
And before I moved, I actually had a lot of experience as a data engineer.
So that helped you get established in Canada.
Yes, it was easy to get established here.
Okay, that's great. Taiba, we're still wondering. We know that you were a data engineer back in India, but how did you find a job in the same field in Canada? Like first job. Most people who come to Canada, they start from odd jobs. So how were you successful in finding a job in your field from day one?
So before we started to do preparation about coming to Canada,
Yeah.
we actually, I would say, because me and my husband, we came together,
Right.
and then I was just wanted to. I did not want to waste my time, and
Right.
I already had a working experience.
Mhm.
So I started making network on LinkedIn.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
great.
networking is actually very helpful. Networking means you will add people with your similar profession,
Right.
and you will also try to connect recruiters which are going to hire, or or the recruiters from the companies which you are interested to. So I was just adding those people, and actually I got two of the recruiters who were offering me some of the jobs. And
While you were still in India.
while I was still in India, they
Okay.
were calling me on my India number.
Okay.
So I was so lucky to get those,
That's interesting.
yeah, those good offers.
That's interesting.
But still, it was just a call. It was
Yeah.
not an offer letter.
Right.
So even after coming to Canada,
Mhm.
it took 3 months to get my first job.
Okay. But I would say that was still fast.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So, Reba, what are the qualifications that are needed to become a data engineer in Canada?
So to become a data engineer, you need to have experience on the various databases,
Okay.
and you need to have expertise on SQL, that is a structured query language.
Mhm.
Once you get that, and to
Okay.
become like a good data engineer, you
Yeah.
need to have experience on one of the cloud applications such as AWS, Google Cloud, or
Right.
Azure.
Right.
Secondly, you need to have experience on some of the ETL tools
Okay.
like Informatica, and there is Matillion.
Mhm.
And thirdly, you need to have one of the programming language,
Okay.
like you can say Java or Python.
Okay.
Python is most popular these days.
All right.
So, and it is easy to learn as well. So these are the main technical skills. Beside that, you need to have effective communication skill.
Okay.
Communication means you need to write effective emails.
Mhm.
You need to understand how to ask perfect questions,
Right.
so that you can take the requirements, business requirement,
Okay.
and then discuss with the team those things.
That's great. So yeah, I was going to ask you about the skills already. So basically, if someone is already working on their skills as a data engineer, on the side they can develop their communication skills that's going to help them in their
Yes,
career.
yes, yes, indeed. Like you really need to. So this is the first step. If you want to come to Canada, you
Right.
need to have good English.
Right.
You need to work, like you need to able to read, write, speak well. Then only you are the good candidate to come to Canada. So that is the first step. And then secondly is your technical skill and experience. Beside that, if you want to get a job in Canada,
Yeah.
any developer, not just data engineer, please practice the technical rounds,
Okay.
because every recruiter, every company, they have coding challenge here.
Okay.
So first step is HR screening. Second step is coding
So
challenge.
basically, they take your practicals.
Yeah, they take your practicals and they
Okay.
will test you. If you clear, then you will go to the next round. Otherwise, you will not get. So
Okay.
please, even before you even apply for Canada, anything, start working on your technical skill, which is like programming skill.
Okay.
It
Okay.
is must here.
That's a great advice
Yeah.
there. This is gonna help a lot of people.
Yeah.
All right.
I can also give you some websites.
Yeah,
So there
please.
are HackerRank
Okay.
and Geek for Geeks. They
Okay.
have lot of samples. Mostly, if you practice them, there are 99% chance that you will be able to crack even AWS, maybe Facebook, any interviews.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So Deva, about the compensation part, if somebody is starting their career as a data engineer in Canada, how much they can expect to earn?
A good data engineer, like if they can crack their coding challenge, if they
Yeah.
crack all the HR rounds and interviews, they can expect something like the starting salary 95 to 100K
Okay.
as the starting salary.
That's a great
And after a
salary.
couple of years Canadian experience,
Yeah.
they can expect 120 to 140K plus benefits.
Okay.
Yeah, and in benefits are very important here. I would give advice, don't focus on a take home salary,
Okay.
because benefits are very important. In benefits, RRSP contribution, which is retirement saving plan,
Yeah.
it is very important. So some companies, or I would say most of the major companies,
Yeah.
they match the contribution. So if you contribute 3%,
Right.
they will also contribute
3%.
3%. And this contribution, you can use after maybe a couple of years, after you save some amount of money, you can use this for your first home purchase.
Right. Right.
So what a benefit.
Okay. Yeah. So that's a very great financial advice. I'll add to that, Teba, because I'm a financial planner myself. Right. So yeah, if you're saving in your RRSP account, you can take that money out for your first home purchase, and without paying any taxes. But
Yes.
but the thing is that you have to put that money back in next 15 years.
Yes, yes.
Right.
And apart from that, it also reduce your tax
Tax
bracket,
bracket.
because the more you earn,
Yep.
the
In
more
Canada.
you have to pay
Right.
taxes, more
Right.
taxes you have to pay.
Right.
So the RRSP is basically tax-free account. It reduces your tax bracket, and if you contribute in your RRSP
Yeah.
for that entire year,
Yeah.
you will be paying less tax, plus you will be saving for your future home, and then the company will be contributing amount. So it's three benefits actually.
Right. Right. That's great. So Deba, what does your average day look like? What are your basically day-to-day activities and work?
So we work in a team.
Okay.
So the first thing we do is team meeting.
Okay.
We
That's
connect
that's
our
that's how you start the day.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
how we start our day, and then we have list of tasks to be completed.
Okay.
So some are like planning, some are designing the workflow processes, and then do the actual development or coding work.
Okay.
So that's how we do. Sometimes we also follow up with the end users, and we take feedbacks, we connect.
And what is the challenging part about this job?
So I think the most challenging part, I
Yeah.
feel, when we don't do quality work, we try
Yeah.
to do quantity work.
Right.
And then if there is a small mistake, sometimes it blows up the entire process and it
And you have to
affects
start from
many
scratch.
people. Yeah. So it's a lot of, so you already put a lot of effort, time, and energy to
Yeah.
build a process.
Right.
But when we don't do proper testing, we don't do the quality work,
Yeah.
it blows up the entire thing and everyone suffers. So that is the most challenging part of, I think, this job.
Deba, there is this one question that I've been waiting to ask, right? This is still in my mind that you were quite successful back in India as well, and your spouse is obviously also an MBA, right? What actually made you decide to move to Canada?
Yes. So Tabish, as I mentioned, I used to travel a lot to different countries. So I've traveled USA and Singapore.
Okay.
And when I lived life there, and I compared the life with India,
Right.
so I really wanted to have that kind of life for my entire family and for my husband too. And I wanted to live my entire life with that, with that quality of air, with that quality of
System,
system, food, and if you talk about the transportation system or anything
infrastructure.
infrastructure, I wanted to have that for my children.
Right.
So that is the first thing we thought about.
Okay.
And yeah, especially because I used to live in Delhi, and sometimes the air quality was so bad,
Yeah.
and I used to feel so bad that my future kid will have to have this air. So I wanted a fresh, clean environment and also a better career options. So for my husband and myself, both we have better career options here, and
Okay.
our skills are much valued in Canada.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting to know. So basically, when you were traveling on your work trips, on your business trips, that exposure, helped you decide.
Yes, that was
Okay.
the big point actually.
Okay. So, Taiba, in closing, what is that one advice that you would give to the people, who are maybe are back in India, they
Mhm.
are wondering what their career options in Canada as in IT? What is that? What is that one advice that you would give to them who want to build the career in the same field?
I would say learn and practice.
Okay.
Learn the skills you needed and practice all the things you already know,
Okay.
like your programming skills and your communication skills. Just keep on practice,
Right.
because as I said, they will ask you to take your coding challenge, and
Right.
then you have to clear that if you want to get clear any interview. And the second thing is be skillful.
Skillful.
Yeah, Canada needs skilled people.
Right.
So be skillful. If you are 100% fit for the role and for the company,
Yeah.
the companies will definitely hire you.
Okay. Okay. That's a great advice, Taiba. We really thank you for your time,
Thank you,
and
Tavish.
I think it's gonna help a lot of people out there.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me here.
Thank you for joining us today. Share it with your friends and subscribe to our channel because we'll keep bringing interviews with experts in your field to boost your career growth. See you all on the top.